understanding signed in April 2024 on water resources management. They discussed progress made by the joint working group established to oversee its execution. Swalem reaffirmed keenness to strengthen bilateral cooperation with South Africa under the MOU, particularly in areas related to water resource development and management.
And to shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to have with us over the phone our dear guest, Mr. Abdel Rahman, journalist and political analyst. Good afternoon, sir.
Well, good afternoon to you, hello to you, and to the dear viewers.
Thank you so much. How do you weigh the importance of the joint cooperation among African countries in the water file?
Well, this is a very significant event that all African countries and leaderships and peoples are yearning for the outcome of this summit. This is very important, as we have, as human race, facing the most critical crisis in the climate, accompanied by crises in water flows, in the rivers, all over the world. Of course, we are witnessing also the conflicts around the world, around water basins like the Nile basin and other countries like the Euphrates and Degla in Iraq and Syria. We have lots of concern about our own water resources. In Egypt, we are facing the most important challenge in that matter since thousands of years. We have lived on this Nile basin for more than 10,000 years. So we are concerned about what's going on, about the outcome of this summit, hoping that it brings justice for our own cause, our own case.
Yes.
As well as, of course, our partners in the same Nile basin.
Yes. Mr. Abdurrahman, how do you see the reasons for the water insecurity in Africa despite the river Nile? Is it because that some African countries wanted to establish some projects on the river Nile, or what?
Well, of course, we have an example for what you are kindly mentioning, the Renaissance Dam in Ethiopia. That was
despite that, Mr. Abdurrahman, despite that Egypt did not ever reject any projects for the African countries to establish projects on the river Nile, but without affecting the quantity of water reaching to especially Egypt and Sudan, which are the downstream countries.
I totally agree with what you have kindly mentioned. Egypt historically has never been but a friend and a brother to our own brothers in Ethiopia, in Sudan, in Uganda, in Kenya, all of the countries, our backbone, our own partners in blood and in water. So what happened was an extreme and total mistake that is all the northern of the continent is paying for it right now, and it's one of the main crises that should be discussed and solved within the continent without any greed from outside, without any interference from abroad. We all know that regional and international powers supported building the dam in Ethiopia as if they are trying to stop or cut water from Egypt. This is a hostile action. But of course, we have our own means, our own policies and our own powers to have or to reach some resolution with our brothers in the Nile Basin countries, and of course with the support of our historical rights as well as the historical sharing rights for all the countries all over those thousands of years.
Yes, you're right. Mr. Abdurrahman, Cairo and Pretoria on the sidelines of the World Water Week discussed water cooperation. How do you weigh the need for this cooperation between the two sides in this regard?
We have such a strong relation with Pretoria. We have such historical ties, and we have some sort of common understanding for the gravity of the situation here. So I believe throughout such cooperation, we can push towards a common understanding that can be applied all over the continent to have a new legitimate paper, a new legitimate lawful resolution that can be applied according to the new happening, the new events, the new circumstances that the whole world is going through right now, to build upon and to reach back stability and open all horizons for prosperity for all nations of the continent, not just one nation, on behalf or the account of other nations.
Yes. So during the talks, Cairo have congratulated Pretoria and the African Union Commission on the successful organization of the recent Africa Investment Program summit that took place in Johannesburg, which it said have strengthened Africa's unified voice on water financing. How would you elaborate on this stance and the need for a unified voice on water financing?
Well, this is exactly what I'm talking about here, unifying our vision based on the best interests, whether economically, whether based on our sharing sharing the water rights, based on our mutual understanding for and our own all of continental security, not just one country's security or national security. Those are the bases that we have shared with our own African brothers in South Africa, and all of countries, all of the people in the continent hold dear in their heart and their memory our role, our freeing role, our liberating role to many nations in the continent in the 60s, of course. And of course, we are continuing to have our own, to strengthen up our own relations based on this very same basis of brotherhood and sharing and communicating with each other and developing our own measures of economy, as well as preserving our water rights as it's the very basic source of life.
Yes, I thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your valuable information, Mr. Amr Abdurrahman, journalist, writer, and a political analyst. Thank you very much for joining us over the phone. Well, the 9th train aimed at facilitating the voluntary returns of the Sudanese residents who had been residing in Egypt following unrest in Egypt's southern neighbor was launched. The train trips back home for Sudanese refugees in Egypt heads to the governorate of Aswan in the south, and then passengers can continue their journey to Sudan aboard the Nile River boats departing from the High Dam port or via overland routes. More in the following report.
The Egyptian National Railways launched on Friday the 9th train to facilitate this voluntary return of Sudanese citizens